Spoiler warning, if you haven't played Final Fantasy VII Original, or if you haven't played Remake, or the Rebirth demos, or if you haven't seen the Rebirth trailers, spoiler warning. But honestly, go play the original game. You owe it to yourself. I am Angel, and this is a Rant Ramble on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. For those of you who are like, Angel, where the fuck are the Transformer unboxings and fucking reviews? You had a fucking poll up, and I voted on it. Yeah, the review is coming, but I'm currently waiting on a light box to be able to continue with the unboxings, because I'm trying to make my unboxings and reviews a little bit more professional, so bear with me. I actually had to order two because Amazon, I ordered it on the 30th of January, and right now is February 15th, and it still has not shipped. I was gonna cancel it, but I'm like, let me wait for the other one to arrive that I ordered from eBay that already shipped. Should be here next week. And after that, if it still hasn't arrived, then I'll cancel it. If not, I'll just let it arrive. But anyways, that's neither here or there. That's not your issue. But like, just bear with me. I'm trying to make things even better than they were before. So, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Final Fantasy VII is my favorite video game of all time. Or at least favorite franchise of all time. So I'm super excited for Rebirth. Obviously, I loved Remake. I had my issues. Of course, it's not a perfect game, but it's damn near there. And I hope that Rebirth breaks that even further. I hope I'm not setting myself up for disappointment. I really hope not. And I don't think I have, because I played the demo, and I have played the demo like... First of all, I skipped work to play the demo. And I'm gonna skip work again once the game comes out. And I played the demo like 5 times, and I'm probably gonna play it a little bit more. They're gonna update it next week, and I'm gonna play it again. I'm not gonna skip work this time, but I'm still gonna play it again. So, first of all, the build up to Rebirth. I wanna talk, I played Remake again. Knowing what I knew, I just blew through the game. It was fucking hilarious. I also played Intergrade. I had not played Intergrade before, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was not expecting to like it that much. I thought it was gonna be okay. But no, it wasn't okay. It was amazing. There was this little like Fort Condor minigame based on the Fort Condor minigame from the original game back in '97. And I thought it was gonna be annoying, but no, it wasn't even intrusive. It was decent. Dare I say, it was a bit fun even. The combat was even more refined than from the base Remake game, because of how Yuffie behaved in combat. She had like melee and ranged options, which was a godsend from the original base Remake, that I had issues with the ranged combat. And Sonon being basically like an extension of Yuffie was pretty cool as well. I was very surprised to see Deep Ground in it. Deep Ground are the enemies from Dirge of Cerberus. That the final boss was actually like the weird BDSM dude. And then that you can have a super secret hard boss fight with Weiss, which is the final boss of Dirge of Cerberus. So I'm expecting them to appear more. Hopefully, maybe they're gonna be like the go-to DLC enemies. That'd be an interesting thing they could do. So I also replayed Crisis Core, which I was really happy with the quality of life changes they did for the gameplay, and it was really fun playing it in English for the first time. Because when I originally played it when it came out in Japan, I played it by cracking my PSP, and I played the game in Japanese. So here's a little secret. I do not know Japanese. I don't even pretend to. Sure, I know like the basic words that almost every weeb knows, yamete kudasai and stuff like that. But no, I don't really know Japanese, but I finished the whole game in Japanese. I even did the super secret boss fight against Minerva in Japanese. I don't know how, because there weren't even guides back then, because like I played the game on launch, which was crazy for me. I just went with the logic. Whenever they ask you something, the top option is always an affirmative and the bottom option is a negative, so I would always pick the top option to continue playing. And you know, it worked, and I finished the game, and I loved it. So playing it again in English finally, and understanding the story better, because of course, like after the game came out, like I spoiled myself the story itself to know what the hell was going on. I kind of guessed at it with the whole degradation thing, because it looked obvious, but I was so confused that there were so many Genesis in the game. But then I learned, oh no, it's just people turning into Genesis because of his genes and stuff like that. So that was really fun. I was very surprised that they remade it before Rebirth came out. That, you know, made me think, like, why? But now we know why, because like Zack is gonna be probably an integral part of Rebirth. We don't know to which capacity. I'm imagining we're gonna have probably parts where we're gonna play as him, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm actually gonna talk about my speculations later on. Besides playing Crisis Core Remake and Intergrade, I'm gonna see Advent Children complete before Rebirth comes out. I know it's gonna be in theaters, but sadly, since I live in a US protectorate, a colony, let's call it by what it is, it's probably not gonna be here. Plus, people in this island, most of them are not refined enough to the intricacies of nerd life and geek life, so it's probably not gonna get here. And I'm not gonna ask the people at the cinema if they're gonna bring it or not. I actually like did that once, and thanks to me, like we actually had the Killing Joke in this godforsaken island, because I had to pull some strings and actually made it happen, because I do have like a little bit of influence where I live. But I'm not, like, I'm fucking tired, and I'm just gonna fucking pirate it because like fuck it. So yeah, like I'm gonna see Advent Children complete before it comes out, before Rebirth comes out. Those are my plans. Before, like that's my build up. That's me preparing for Rebirth and playing way more of the demo. So I'm just gonna let you know, this video is probably gonna go for a long time. I think the previous segment was already over 5 minutes long, but I just, you know, like this is why I started making my R&R series again. I used to do it a long time ago in another channel that I don't even want to talk about, because I was very negative back then, and I want to be a force of positive goodness, because it's been helping me out a lot personally. So I want to talk about the things that passion me and makes me happy. Previously in this channel I had like a different thing going on, and like I moved away from that because that I was like trying to play a character and it was fun, but then I was like, nah, I just want to be myself and just like whatever. Alright, so getting towards Rebirth itself, the demo has been stupid fun, and the second part of the demo comes out next week. Though, like, part of me wants to skip that demo because it's gonna have like a lot more gameplay in it, but like, at the same time I really want to do it because I want more of it. But like, part of me is like, I can just wait the 2 weeks to play it anyways, but I know I'm probably gonna play it anyway, so I'm just like psyching myself out. But you know, I'm probably gonna end up playing anyways. I'm probably gonna enjoy the fuck out of it too, and like I mentioned before, I'm definitely gonna take a sick day to play. Like I'm between taking Thursday and Fridays off to play it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or taking Fridays off and Monday off and playing it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I'm still on the fence with that. If by some reason, like, some weird shit happens and then the game comes out on, because it says release worldwide February 29th, but like when it's February 28th here, it's February 29th in Japan. So if it's worldwide Japan time and it comes out here on Wednesday, I'm probably gonna take Thursday and Fridays off, because it's just one of those things that I know is gonna help me out mentally and personally to be more centered and like then do better at work, because you know I have sick days, so I'm gonna use them, even though the government's like, oh, if you don't skip work that much, we're gonna pay you more. And I'm like, yeah, you can shove it up your ass, because my mental health is worth more than $1,200, honestly. So Cloud acting like obvious sack was a treat in the demo, and having an infantryman with blonde hair and just Cloud's voice was also amazing. Like, I cashed it instantly. You see, like, Cloud is acting like Zack, being peppy, being like a little puppy boy, right? And then he walks to the infantryman with the motion sickness, and you see behind, like, under his helmet, he has blonde hair, and I'm like, that is obviously Cloud. Like, that's him, and it's so fucking cool. But then you go, you know, you get to Nibelheim, right? And as Cloud, you know, Cloud Sack, you know, Sack Cloud Sack, Cloud believing, you know, like Cloud believing he's Cloud, but he's actually Sack. You understand what I'm saying, right? You control him, and then you go to the infantryman, who is obviously Cloud, because you actually can go into camera mode, and you can see the blonde hair as well. And then when he talks, he's like, oh, are you gonna visit a girlfriend? I bet you can't wait to hear about my girlfriend. But that is not Cloud's voice actor. It sounds like Zack. So like Cloud is putting that voice on the infantryman that he was, and I think that it's from a storytelling standpoint in video games, that is so fucking amazing. Oh fuck, like that was so fucking cool, dude. I love that so much. Like to me, like that was such a minor thing in the flashback scene, but to me that was like so big, because you could never do something like that back in '97, you know, because there was no voice acting back then. But now, like you can give hints to people through the voice acting in the game and through the graphics, because you couldn't have like an infantryman with blonde hair. It wouldn't track. But now it does, and that is so fucking cool, right? And then as by the way, I should have just mentioned this before, but like spoiler warning, because like I'm gonna be talking about like a bunch of details that maybe some people would like to avoid. I know, like, we're what, 12 minutes into the fucking video, almost 15, and I'm giving the warning now, but just sorry, just I get excited, all right? And I didn't write it in the notes to write down the fucking spoiler warning. I should have done that. Anyways, but like as you go through the fucking flashback scene, you know, Sephiroth burns down Nibelheim, and then like Cloud is worried about his mother. He's going towards his mother, but then you see the infantryman crawling in the floor, saying "Mom," and like my heart just fucking breaks, and I'm like, dude, no, that is you. Like that dude on the floor, that is you. You're not the guy standing up, you're the guy in the floor. And I'm like, fuck. Like I've been telling like my partners ever since the first trailer for this game came out like 2 years ago. I told them this game is gonna fucking break me. I cried like 5 times while I was playing Remake, and I know this game is gonna make me cry. Like, it made me cry and it made me teary-eyed during the demo, but even during the fucking trailer it made me teary-eyed. I'll go into that soon as well. Like, this game is gonna fucking break me. Oh, it's just like, it's so fucking good. Then Claudia, because of course Cloud's mom's name is Claudia. Claudia says, run Cloud, you have to survive. And that is what Sephiroth had told Cloud at the beginning of Remake. And it's so fucking cool, because now we're learning things about the first installment in the second installment, and I can just imagine all the shit they're gonna set up here that they're gonna develop in the third game, or even more things we're gonna find out. It's fucking crazy. So yeah, like moving on, like having long range options. Like I know we're talking about story, and then I'm suddenly like swerving towards traffic, oncoming traffic, and talking about like combat, but that's just how it is, right? So like having long range options for Cloud, it's pretty fucking amazing, and I can't wait to see like how Red 13 is gonna deal with that, how Tifa is gonna deal with that, because I imagine like Kate Sith or Kachik, however you want to pronounce that, it's fine. I imagine he has things he can throw, right? Like maybe like Maw can just throw Kate Sith, right? Or throw dice, because that's a thing he used to do. But Tifa, what is Tifa gonna throw? Is she gonna like actually like shoot Hadoukens at enemies? Because that would be pretty fucking kick-ass, like, to be quite honest. But Cloud just having Blade Beam as a standard part of his kit, as a range option, is a stroke of fucking genius, because that was the biggest gripe that I had with combat in the first game. But now, nope, and you can like almost teleport towards enemies, and it's fucking awesome. And you can use abilities in the air, and even some abilities get bonuses when you're using them in the air, and that is it is fucking like I love it. I don't know, like in the first game I said like, yeah, they can add more things to make combat even better, but now I'm like, okay, what else could they do to make combat even better in the third game? I know I'm getting ahead of myself because the game hasn't come out yet, but what else could they do? I would imagine like something really cool, and I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm not in the speculation portion of the fucking video, but I don't care because I didn't write this down. Something that I think would be really cool is that they let us switch characters mid-combat, similar to Final Fantasy X. Maybe like on a cooldown, or that it costs ATB gauge or something, or you can do it a limited times per combat. But I would imagine that would be the next step in this combat mechanic thing that the game has going on, because in the next game we're gonna have 2 more characters to worry about, and that's like the party is really fucking big. So I wonder what the hell they're gonna do. So moving towards the minigames, like the sheer amount of minigames have me a bit nervous because there's just way too many, and I'm scared about, you know, what was cut, what was not polished, because I've seen just too many minigames. You know, like you have the G-Bike, you have the combat simulator, you have like the little chibi fights, you have the Moogle, you have the Chocobo races, you have one with a dolphin, you have the card games, you have Fort Condor, and it's just so many things. And like, am I the only one that's worried about the fucking card game? Because I didn't like Triple Triad. I didn't like Triple Triad, and like I saw the card game and in the trailer, and my mind instantly went to dun 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 pa 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 dun 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 dun. It's just my mind just went to the Triple Triad theme. Nothing against specifically Triple Triad, because Triple Triad by itself was harmless. Especially if you could farm, you know, like you farmed strong cards, and it wasn't like, you know, you were fucking Yugi and you just killed everybody, you just won. But then you had like the weird rule sets and having to beat someone with panties on your head while a chicken is crying outside as you're clipping your toenails just to get one card to spawn so you can get a fucking weapon. Like I hope they don't. They're probably not gonna do anything that convoluted, but I just got really bad flashbacks to Triple Triad when I saw that there was a new card game. And you know why they're doing this? They're banking on it being really fucking famous and popular in the game, because then they're just gonna make a physical version and sell it to people, because that's, you know, they're a fucking corporation, and Square Enix is basically Shinra anyways in real life. I'm sort of happy that Fort Condor is back, because I actually had fun with it. I just hope like all these minigames are short, and they're not like each minigame takes me about 2 hours to beat completely, you know? Like some of these minigames, they should be like 10 minutes and I'm done forever. Only like if I want to go back, then not to collect anything just because I liked it, sort of thing. That's what I hope. That they're not overbearing, because I'm a bit of a completionist and I like to complete my games, but like if it gets too annoying, I'm just gonna fucking stop, because I get pissed off. That's my biggest fear with the fucking piano minigame. Like, I played the fucking piano minigame in the fucking demo, and I thought it was like, okay, like if I don't miss anything and I just get a couple of goods and I'll be fine and I'll get a star. No, to get a star you have to like basically perfect the whole song. Get a string of perfects during the whole song, and I'm like, that's kind of steep. And then if you put something behind getting a star on every single song, I'm gonna get pissed off, man. Cause that was harder than the fucking pull-up game. Like, beating it was fine, but like getting it perfect, fuck, I still haven't done it. Like, my record is like no misses and only 4 greats and everything. I mean, only 4 goods and then everything else great. You know, like 4 notes were not perfect. That was it. And I got an A rank, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is like fucking steep. But let's see. Like, I hope they don't put anything behind getting a star and everything, because that's just gonna piss me off. And I know it's gonna piss off a lot of people too, because you have to be, your timing has to be very fucking good at it. And to finish this section of the video, the trailer made me teary-eyed, no lie, when Dine is talking about Marlene, and the way he just cleans his hand by rubbing it against his pants. It's just, it was so guttural, and I'm like, this shit feels way too real, and this shit like struck way too close to home to me. And like, when I saw that trailer, it actually made me fucking like sob, and I'm like, you know, I did the whole, and my eyes watered, and I started crying a little bit, because like that shit struck home way. Like, I am looking forward to that part of the game, but at the same time I'm not looking forward to it, because like, fuck, man, Jesus, like, these guys are fucking geniuses, and I love it. I love it. It's like, let's, I feel bad to every other RPG that comes out this year, because you know that Rebirth is gonna win Game of the Year this year. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care like about whatever the haters say. I just really don't care. Don't care people that call us fanboys, fangirls. Don't care. This is an objectively good game. It's objectively good looking as well. And before the game comes out, they're gonna fix the graphics even more. Again, I feel bad for anybody any RPG that's gonna compete against it this year, because this game is gonna take a long time to beat. It's gonna consume the lives of a lot of people. And yeah, I'm happy that I'm not looking forward to any other game this year. Like, I recently downloaded Jedi Survivor because I wanted to play before, you know, have something to play before Rebirth came out. But I'm like, I just want to keep playing the demo. Like, Jedi Survivor is boring. It's not a bad game. By any means, it's not bad. And it has a lot to it, because there's a lot you can do in Jedi Survivor. But holy shit, I got bored, because all I wanted to do was just keep playing the demo. That's just a fanboy in me talking, obviously. But like, those are my true feelings. It's fucking insane. Well, let's see how this part of the video, because like, when I say part of the video, I know I'm combining all of this together to make one giant video that you can listen to whenever you want. But like, I'm recording it in 2 parts, so I know where to put like the little videos and the little music that I have planned out. And the last one was really fucking long, but like, according to my notes, this part is gonna be even longer. So I don't know if this video is gonna be 40 minutes long. Maybe. It's already over 20 minutes, isn't it? I have no clue. So I want to enter into the speculation portion. of the things that I want to see and the things that I think are gonna happen. So one of the things that has me very excited is like they mentioned you can change, and again this is spoilers for things they have mentioned that are gonna be in the game, and I know some people don't want to hear about it, but they mentioned you can change the character you control on the field during the new game. So when you go into New Game Plus, apparently if you want to have a team of Tifa, Aerith, and Barret, you can. And if you want to control Aerith in the world, you can. Either that, or you can, like, you have a team of Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith, but you can still control Aerith in the field. Fuck yeah, man. Like, that is so fucking cool, right? And that got me thinking, if they're gonna do that, and they already said they're gonna do that, will Sephiroth be a DLC character? Is he gonna be an unlock? Because I doubt they won't give Sephiroth to us, because you know, and they know. They must know. As soon as this game gets to PC, the modders are gonna mod Sephiroth into the game. Because he's there already. Maybe he's not gonna have that many abilities. Probably not. Unless they make them. Unless they make the abilities, they're not gonna... Sephiroth's just gonna have the two. He's gonna have Octoslash as his limit break. He's gonna have Hell's Gate. And he's gonna have Aeolian Slash. It's the name of the ability back in the Dissidia, the one where he like shoots lasers from his swords. That they changed the name for this game. I don't know why. I liked Aeolian Slash because it sounded like a aioli sauce, just like the really tasty like garlic sauce that people put on fries, and it's fucking amazing. You can like make steaks with it and makes the steaks taste amazing. But you know the modders are just gonna mod Sephiroth in there. So if they don't add Sephiroth as a DLC character or as an unlock, or heck, just something like, hey, New Game Plus, guess what? You can have Sephiroth in your team from now on because fuck it. I think that would be pretty fucking kick-ass. And if they don't do it, I'm gonna get pissed off. I know a lot of other people are gonna get pissed off. I don't want to spend a lot of money on a new computer just to play Sephiroth, but I might. Because you know the modders are just gonna mod Sephiroth in there, because he already has moves, he already has animations. So it would actually surprise me if they don't let us use Sephiroth in New Game Plus. I would imagine that this is something we could do in New Game Plus, and I really hope so, because it would be so cool. Now another speculation I want to talk about is how the fuck does Zack fit into the whole fucking story now? Is it an alternate timeline? Is it an alternate universe? Probably. Is it an alternate timeline that is happening coterminous with this one? Yeah. Based on the ending of the first game, that Sephiroth, I still have Sephiroth in my mind. When Cloud and the party leave Midgard, you see Cloud and Zack entering Midgard. So my lizard brain thinks, hey, this is happening at the same time but in different timelines. It'd be cool. It'd be hella cool, because when, apparently from what we see, when Zack arrives back at Midgard with Cloud, he gives Cloud to Kyrie, and apparently like Avalanche already had an issue and they're all passed out. But we see Aerith seemingly dead, but then we see Zack with Aerith telling her, oh, don't worry, I'm here, everything's gonna be fine. So my speculation is, like, we control Zack, we as Zack, we go into Shinra headquarters and we get Aerith out, and then you put her back at her mother's house and you take care of her because she's in a vegetative state or something. But then now I'm thinking, is she in a vegetative state because she's helping out the Aerith from our timeline, the main one? Because like, what the fuck is happening? It's not that I'm mad, it's just that I'm confused. I think it's fucking awesome. I was on the fence on it when like the first game ended with the giant like dark side, you know, like heartless monster from Kingdom Hearts that you have to fight, you know, the Harbinger of Destiny, whatever. But like, I played it again, I'm like, yeah, I can totally see what they're going for. I really hope they do it justice. I'm very, because like, a lot of people have been like complaining, no, they're showing too much on the trailer. Like, fuck off. No, they're not. Play the original fucking game. They're not showing that much. They're showing shit we already know. If you don't know, play the fucking original game. Honestly, you shouldn't play these games if you haven't played the 97 version. This is a sequel. It's pretty fucking obvious that this is a sequel to the 97 game. Go play the fucking 97 game before you play these games. You're gonna understand more what's happening. You're gonna understand why the fuck it was weird to see Sephiroth at the beginning of the fucking game, in the first game, after the bombing of the Sector 5 reactor. Right? Okay, so what they're not showing in the fucking trailers is they're not showing that much about Zack. So they're playing this really close to their hearts. They don't want us to know how Zack is involved. I imagine he has gameplay moments, right? I hope the combat is like the combat from Rebirth and they don't have like a weird section where you're playing Crisis Core. I like what they did and how they changed the gameplay for Crisis Core Reunion, but I'd rather just, you know, play the combat from Rebirth. But I think it's pretty obvious that we're gonna play as Zack at some points in the game. It'd be weird if we didn't. But I'm very excited to see how the hell Zack fits into the whole story. And another question, are we gonna see Genesis? Because as far as we know, like, Genesis was giving a second chance to life by the goddess by cleaning him from the cell degradation, but we know he refused to join Deep Ground and he isolated himself in a cave near Mako Reactor 0. Like, so how is this gonna play into it? Because I don't like Genesis. I think he's a fucking stupid character. All he does is like quote Loveless and nobody really likes him. He looks cool, but like he's like great value Sephiroth, right? It's just like they try to capture lightning in a jar for a second time and just it doesn't work. Like people just naturally gravitated towards Sephiroth. I don't know, it's just one of those things you had to be in there when it came out, and it was an in the moment thing. Because then when Genesis came out, everybody was like, who the fuck is this guy? So, man, I don't know. I hope, even though I don't like Genesis, I do hope he comes back. To some capacity. Maybe he's a good guy now. Because since, like, the goddess gave him a second chance to life, maybe he's a good guy now. Which kind of goes against the secret ending of Dirge of Cerberus, where he kind of was shown as a bad guy because he told Wise, there's much work to do, brother, and then he flew away, and we don't know anything about what happened then, because like they're probably like, you know, this shit isn't canon anymore. Maybe. And for fuck's sake, will the Crisis Core music be remade for Rebirth? That is one of the biggest questions I have, because if Zack is gonna be part of the story, because come on, he's in the key art for the fucking game, for fuck's sake. Zack is in the cover art for the game. Zack is in the cover art for the game, so obviously he's gonna play an integral part to the story. Is the fucking Crisis Core music gonna be remade? Because the Crisis Core music is fucking amazing. I love it. I just hope so. I wanna hear a remade version, you know, like a Rebirth version of the Price of Freedom. I really do. Because the Crisis Core music, I think, is slept on. I think that music goes hard. It goes like, that whole soundtrack is great. I think so, man. I want to hear the truth behind the project remade for Rebirth. My pants would explode. I love that theme. So I expect the Crisis Core music to be remade. I honestly do. They should really, if they don't use the Crisis Core music, it's one of the things that I'm gonna tell you guys, you know what, the game is not perfect. Because you have the Crisis Core music there, just fucking remake it. And they've said they have so much fucking music to show us. So if the Crisis Core music is not in Rebirth, that is a thing that I'm gonna be like, you guys suck. You know? Like that's gonna be my aerial combat for this game. I dislike the part I disliked the most about the first game was the aerial combat, and if they don't remake the Crisis Core music for this one, though, the thing I'm gonna dislike the most about Rebirth is the lack of Crisis Core music. But honestly, I'd be surprised if they don't add it. So one of the taglines of the game is, "The world will be saved, but will you?" Obviously, they're talking about Aerith's sacrifice, right? So, will she bite it again? Because a lot of speculation is going around that maybe Aerith is not the one that's gonna die, right? Honestly, I think it's gonna end up being her. Right? Because I think very few characters would make sense here. Because, you know, Tifa dying would serve no purpose to the story. It would be shock value. But that would be the only one. Because Barret would make no sense. Sid, much less. Vincent, much less, because we haven't played as them. Yuffie, why? Red 13, why? You know, like, none of them would make sense. Tifa, but only as shock value. But it honestly wouldn't serve any purpose to the story. I think Aerith is the most probable choice. She's gonna come to terms that, you know, for things to flow properly, she has to sacrifice herself. I think that's what's gonna happen. I will stake my name as a geek and a nerd saying that Aerith, and as a writer that I like writing, but you know, like, that's neither here or there, planning to release a book eventually, but Aerith is the most probable choice for the sacrifice. She's gonna say, you know, I have to do this. If I don't do this, we don't know what's gonna happen to the planet. The planet has a plan, and we have to follow the planet's plan. For that to happen, I have to be the one that sacrifices herself. So you have to let me go, she tells Cloud. Sephiroth's gonna kill me, you have to let it happen. Maybe, right? Because it can't be Cloud. Because if they kill off Cloud, what then? What the fuck is the third game gonna be? Plus, you know, from the trailer, we already saw Cloud and facing off Sephiroth, and Cloud looks really fucking pissed off, and they're in the ancient city, so it's probably gonna be Aerith. Because we see that at the end of the final trailer. Cloud and the party, we don't see Aerith, Cloud and the party without Aerith, screaming at Sephiroth. Sephiroth's spewing blah 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 about being blah blah blah, and we see the Destiny ghosts going around him, and then Cloud is angry and he screams at Sephiroth, and then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, you know. We see that in the trailer. So I'm imagining it has to be Aerith. However, a very interesting swerve they could do. Zack sacrifices himself to give Aerith a chance to live. So what if we play through Zack's story and he realizes that his timeline is not the real one, and maybe they realize that his timeline is eventually gonna disappear. So he ends up in our timeline, in the Rebirth timeline, you know, in the remake timeline. And he eventually gets to the he eventually gets to the ancient city, and he sees what Sephiroth's gonna do to Aerith, and Zack is the one that sacrifices himself. So Aerith could still be alive. I think that would be pretty fucking amazing. I think from a storytelling standpoint, if you want to do something different that is still gonna shock people and it serves a purpose to the story, Zack would be the one to bite the dust. Because it would piss off Cloud. Of course, at that point, Cloud would have to know and remember who he is and who Zack was. Or maybe when Zack sacrifices himself, Cloud sees Zack, Zack tells him, I see you're still carrying my legacy, or something like that. Cloud snaps into place and realizes, oh shit, this was my best friend, and he gets pissed off at Sephiroth. Honestly, and personally, that's what I wish would happen. Being completely honest with everybody. I think that would be pretty fucking amazing. But I'm still pretty sure it's gonna be Aerith at the end of the day. Could it be Sephiroth? You imagine if Sephiroth is the one that dies? I doubt it. I doubt it, but you know, You imagine if the one to die is Sephiroth and then some different shit happens? I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. Another speculation, like how did Aerith know so much in the first game? Aerith acts too much like she knows what's happening. I hope we get more of that in this game. You know, is Aerith from the future contacting the present Aerith? Because in one of the books that they released, that they are canon by the way, we see Aerith in the live stream going to visit people and talking to them. So is this Death Aerith from Advent Children going back in time through the live stream? Because I would imagine like time travel would be possible in the live stream because it's like consciousness, and her talking to her past self could be. I think that's a possibility. Why was the live stream theme at the beginning of the remake? When Sephiroth confronted Cloud after the first reactor bombing, we hear the live stream theme from Advent Children. Why was that there? We still don't know. And that was so weird when it happened. I remember playing and I'm like, what the fuck? This is an Advent Children theme. Like, you know, that leads to a lot of people speculating that, you know, this is Sephiroth from the future. This is Sephiroth post Advent Children. And probably like Aerith sometimes can talk to her future self or something like that. And then also in the trailer that has spoiled so much, we see Cloud in a cloak saying reunion in the Northern Crater. I imagine that is actually going to happen, but that is going to happen in Zack's timeline. Because since Cloud doesn't believe himself to be an amazing superhero in Zack's timeline because Zack is alive, I imagine that Cloud is just going to end up joining the reunion cult. To me, that makes sense. Because if you don't have Zack dying, you don't have Cloud being a cool guy. You don't have Cloud being a cool guy, he's probably still gonna be doubting himself about everything that happened with the Nibelheim incident and everything like that. So he's just gonna be down on his luck, and then, you know, Jenova starts calling and Cloud goes a knocking, you know? So I'm imagining that is actually gonna happen, but it's gonna happen in Zack's timeline. And yet there are still a lot of questions. How many will be answered in Rebirth? Probably a few. And how many more will be created? Probably a fuckload more. So I want to talk about the worst case scenario now. You know, Genesis steps in, kills Sephiroth, and becomes the new main bad guy. And I think, honestly, I think that's the worst possible outcome in my opinion. And they never do that, right? Oh, I sure hope not. Because you can imagine, right? If they decide to make no, not Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus canon, and then it's like, oh yeah, when Genesis picked up Weiss and he says there's still much to do, brother, Genesis actually found a way to go back in time and alter the timeline. Could you imagine how fucked that would be? Or maybe like Genesis becomes the main bad guy in Zack's scenario? That could be a thing. Instead of becoming a good guy, he becomes a bad guy, helps Sephiroth out or something, or eventually betrays Sephiroth and becomes the new main bad guy. That'd be stupid. And I know they never do that, but I would just like, the main reason I made this whole fucking video is because I was taking a shower a couple of months ago, and I said, you know what would be stupid? If they kill off Sephiroth and make Genesis the main bad guy. That'd be stupid. And that's why I'm making this video now. Everything I have said for the past over 40 minutes at this point, maybe almost. Yeah, almost 40 minutes now. Everything came because of a random shower thought about Genesis killing Sephiroth and becoming the main bad guy. Like I said, this isn't even something I want. I fucking hate Genesis. But I just think it would be one of the worst possible things they could do. I think that would ruin the game for everybody, or almost everybody. I imagine there's probably like 5 Genesis fans in the whole world that would be ecstatic about that. So another point of speculation, obviously, is what the hell would the third game be called? Because all of them have Re at the beginning. My money is on Reunion, honestly, and I know Crisis Core already used Reunion. but I think the third game is just gonna be called Final Fantasy VII Reunion. It would make sense because we're gonna go to the Northern Crater on the third game, I believe. And, you know, it's when, you know, Jenova finally reunites with herself when we fight Jenova Synthesis, right, at the Northern Crater. I think Reunion is the one that makes the most sense, because, you know, what else? People have said Revengeance and shit like that, you know, it's silly. But, you know, Recreate, Final Fantasy VII Recreate, Final Fantasy VII Real. No, my money is still on Reunion, even if they used it again. But, like, Reunion is something so iconic with Final Fantasy VII. I can't imagine them using any other name. With that said, you guys think that Dirge of Cerberus will ever be remade? Because they remake Crisis Core, and I know they remake Crisis Core because, like, we're not gonna play as Zack. But, you know, since the Deep Ground Goobers are running around already in the remake continuity, do you think that maybe Dirge of Cerberus is gonna come into play? They would need to have a reason, right? They couldn't just drop it and that's it, because it takes place after Advent Children. Not that that plays that much into it, because, like, the game is fucking stupid. But I like the idea of it. They just need to, like, have a lot of QC improvements, quality of choice, quality of life improvements. Yeah, they just need a lot of quality of life improvements in the game to make it good. Even more than they did for Crisis Core, I believe. So yeah, like, this video has been going on for, like, what, 40 minutes, 45, something like that. I don't even know, because I've been cutting them into pieces as I record them. I had more things that I wanted to talk about. Like, I know there's a dude in the First Soldier game that talks to Sephiroth and becomes Sephiroth's friend, but then, like, he betrays them, he betrays Sephiroth, and he leaves, and apparently he's the liaison to Wutai now, that is either working for Rufus, or it's double crossing Rufus, or working for Wutai. Like, apparently that's the guy in the cloak that we see in the trailers. We'll see when the game comes out. Besides that, I hope they eventually remake Before Crisis. Was that the name? Because we have Crisis Core, it's a sad game. Yeah, Before Crisis, the Turks game. I hope they remake that, or they add more to it. Because, like, I'm very excited. I forget Cisne. I am so happy that Cisne is coming back. When I saw her in the trailer, my eyes lit up, and I'm like, holy shit, yes, thank you, Cisne. And she's in Gongaga. Me? Gongaga? Yeah. She's in Gongaga, and that's amazing. I love that they're bringing all these people from the compilation of Final Fantasy VII. I'm dying to see what else they do. Honestly, I think Rebirth is not gonna stray away that much. It's gonna stray away from the original game, but I don't think it's gonna stray that much yet. I think the third game, whatever it's called, remix, Final Fantasy VII remix, no, God no. But I think that's the one that's gonna go balls to the wall with weirdness, because there's still a lot to do even after the Ancient City. Because they already said, like, this game is gonna end at the Ancient City. So it's gonna end with, you know, the scene, right? But there's still a lot to do afterwards. Because they could, like, add so much to Midgar. And they will, because, you know, you can still go to the ruins of Sector 7 in Rebirth. I mean, in Remake. So, like, there's just so much they can still do for the third game, plus anything else they want to add. Like, they could still add, you know, Sector 0, you know, like Deep Ground. They could do so much. Like, if they're doing the whole alternate universe, alternate timeline thing, they could actually have Kadash, Loz, and Yazoo come in. We already had whispers of them in the first game. Why not, like, go the extra mile and just put them in there anyways? I am very excited for Rebirth, as you can tell from this fucking video. I could talk even more, if I really wanted to. Like, there's still just so much speculation we can do. I am so excited for this game. I am so excited for the next one. Like, one of my goals is to get healthier. I want to work out more. Because I want to make sure my body lasts to the next game. So I can play it and enjoy it. No cap. So, let me know about the speculations you guys have. Let me know about what you think about all of this. You know, let's just start like a conversation going in the comments section below, right? Talking about all this shit. And yeah, I think that's it for this rant and ramble. I've gone long enough, more than I expected, because originally I thought, yeah, it's probably gonna be like a 20-minute video, 30-minute video, but no, like this section by itself is almost 30 minutes, so I imagine the whole video is gonna be almost 50 probably. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to me. And if you got to this part of the video, you are a fucking trooper, and I love you. That is for this rant and ramble. Here it is, your moment of zen.